It's energy. It's a dispersal of energy, right? And so you have to, like, to be positive and upbeat all the time takes a lot of energy. And so if you don't personally have that energy because you didn't fill your cup first, right? Like, you're not taking the time to do what's good for you, then you're not going to have it for other people.
We are in Miami, Florida, and I am here with Dr. Dwyer. She is a health coach. She lives in Fort Lauderdale, and we're here to really just have a conversation and talk about just her journey, talk about where she wants to go in her life, things she's done to get to where she is in her life, and
Yay!
Hi, how are you?
Hi, I'm good. I'm honored to be your first episode.
Yes.
Hello,
yeah. It's the first episode is always the one that I feel like is probably the most special, just because it's launching the idea and the series, and so from here it's gonna go up.
You're in a great place for it.
We're in an amazing place.
A gorgeous day.
Who is Dr. Dwyer?
So Dr. Dwyer, I am a pharmacist. That's where the doctor comes from. So I'm a part-time pharmacist for a retail grocery store down here. So Publix, if anyone's familiar, Pub Subs, you have to try one if you haven't yet. So I'm a part-time pharmacist. I am a business owner as well. I started the Big Day Nutrition a little over a year ago. I am just like a fun-loving, goofy extrovert who loves talking to people and loves adventure and traveling and helping whoever I can. Obviously, both of my careers now focus on health and helping others, pharmacy in like a wellness point of view, and then the Big D Nutrition is more centered towards nutrition and fitness and that type of wellness, as well as mental awareness and wellness. So
that's incredible. That's incredible. And so where did you initially start? What was the idea, just from day one, of why you wanted to get more into health? What's your background? You have a background in athletics, and what kind of got you to where?
I mean, I grew up a tomboy playing a bunch of sports, and I was always good at math and science. So I am a huge math nerd, or I was, kind of gotten away from that. But so I just always played sports, always did math and science stuff. I loved it. I loved helping people even when I was younger. So when it was time to like graduate high school and figure out what I wanted to do, I didn't want to be a doctor because, I don't know, doctors, like, you have to deal with gross things in other people's body fluids. And at the time, that was not something I wanted to do, or go through that much school and kind of, I don't know. So pharmacy was really hot back then too. Like, you were getting signing bonuses, you were doing all of that. So I chose pharmacy because I was still able to make a difference, still have good hours, I mean, decent money, especially at the time. And I figured it would give me like the quality of life I wanted. And then slowly throughout pharmacy school, I transitioned more into, not playing sports as much anymore because of college, but more into like the weightlifting center, and I started competing in NPC, like bodybuilding competitions. So that's where I really got my like health and fitness like passion from. I loved it, and I was super interested in how the body responds to food and nutrition, and how your body can transform just by making little changes. And so from then on, that became my goal, was to, okay, I'm not going to quit pharmacy school, but I'm going to utilize what I've learned in nutrition to help patients. And unfortunately, it doesn't work the way you want it to in the real world like that. But from then on, it just obviously still became my passion, and that's how the Big Day kind of got started.
Awesome. Two things I noted from that was, you said quality of life.
Yes.
And passion, which are two extremely important things to
Huge.
me, especially when you're talking about exhibiting a life that you actually enjoy living, where you don't feel like you're living for someone else or on someone else's ideas.
Totally.
Or things of that nature. And so within that, I'm sure you through that journey, you've met a lot of people who maybe inspired you or maybe challenged you to continue to go the direction that you're going. So like, I mean, as far as like from a community standpoint, how was that beneficial?
I mean, community is almost one of the most important things you need. Even when you are on like a new plan for my clients, we ask if you have anyone who's there to support you, because that's super important in any industry. And so for me, I mean, my mom and my parents always pushed me to do well and to follow whatever I wanted to do. My friends actually were the Kickstarters in helping me start my company because they were like, oh, you should do this full-time. Backstory a little bit. I have a ton of girlfriends who are getting married. And so they would come to me with my nutrition knowledge and they'd be like, I need a little help losing, weight for my wedding. Can you give me a meal plan? So I was like, sure, whatever. I'd write them up little things and follow with them. And they were like, you should do this full time. It's working. And I was like, I can't do this full time. I have a job. What do you mean? I'm already way too busy. And so I thought about it, and then I just kept helping more girlfriends. And I was like, I really like this. This is way more rewarding for me than, let's say, the stressful hours in the pharmacy. Because I will say the quality of life I thought I was going to get in the pharmacy, it's better on paper than it is in real life, right?
Sure.
So I ended up dropping down to be a part-time pharmacist and then focusing more on how I could maybe make this happen. And a girlfriend of mine and I went to one of those 10X kind of conference type of things and saw Tony Robbins talk and saw a bunch of amazing people. And so that was super motivating. And so it kind of just propelled me with all of their help to sit down and create a name and just kind of get started. And then the snowball effect after that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, that's
so
amazing.
Community is so great. If it wasn't for them, I don't know what I would be doing right now.
Right.
Literally.
Probably still be working 60 hours at the pharmacy.
No.
Just
I don't know. I would have found a way.
We would have figured it out. And so, going to see someone like Tony Robbins, he's an inspiration in itself to me. People like that, we've talked previously about David Goggins.
Yes, such a great book.
I'm not sure if I said his last name even right.
Goggins, you got it.
Right. And so I've been butchering last names, so thanks for the correction.
You're good.
And so even just seeing those type of people and just the road that they've taken in their success and how they inspired people, from your perspective, what 3 things do you think define success?
So first off, I think success is different for everybody and what you've been through. So for me, success isn't necessarily defined by money to me. I think that for me, in my success, because I can only speak for myself and maybe others or you can resonate with it, but I find myself to be successful when, I know that I feel successful when my clients are, giving me good referrals. They're referring their friends to work with me. They're having positive things to say. So I can be a business owner and a CEO, but if my clients aren't happy, I'm not a success.
Right,
so that makes me feel successful. Accomplishing goals on my own and doing it with integrity. I think integrity is huge. So practicing what you preach. I for sure practice what I preach. I meal prep, I go to the gym. I do exactly what I tell my clients to do. And so I don't want them thinking that I'm cheating or, nobody likes a broke financial advisor or a overweight personal trainer. It's not gonna work. So I think accomplishing a goal without choosing the easy way out is where I find success. And then kind of just looking back on what you've done. So how far you've come 5 years ago, 1 year ago, 6 months ago. So personal growth, business growth, whatever really makes me feel super successful.
Yeah.
When you remember all of that.
Sure. Even the point you make where you have to be a model of your own business, of what you're telling people to do.
I mean, I'm my brand. I have to.
Exactly. You're your brand. And so you can't be telling people, you need to work out this many times a week, eat this, not eat this.
Nope.
And you don't fit the, bill. You're not doing the same thing. And
right.
so that's extremely important. Where are places that you find motivation that just keep you positive every day, keep your attitude, upbeat? Especially for you have clients who call you and they're having a bad day or they're going through this situation that they need, your perspective, or just your positive energy to uplift their day. Where do you find that? So
one thing that I've definitely noticed over the past couple months, and that is so true, even if it is one of those cliche type of things to say, is you really have to find, it's energy. It's a dispersal of energy, right? And so you have to, to be positive and upbeat all the time takes a lot of energy. And so if you don't personally have that energy because you didn't fill your cup first, right? You're not taking the time to do what's good for you, then you're not going to have it for other people. So for me, I'm very much into listening to podcasts that are motivational, self-help realm books like that David Goggins book, super motivational. My clients inspire me when they, have their results and they're just kicking complete butt. And I'm like, oh my God, okay, I need to go to the gym today because so-and-so just crushed her workout. So, I mean, I find inspiration from everywhere, but I think that it's taken a long time to kind of, you do have to rewire your brain to kind of find out those positive things instead of negative. Like, it's not always easy to go to the gym. It's not always my favorite thing to do, to want to meal prep, but I know that it's something that needs to be done, and I'm thankful when I've done it. And so not every day is going to be a highly motivational day, but you just kind of have to dig deep and like know that the results are worth what you're doing. And, you know, I mean, motivation and positivity can come from everywhere. Music, I just play music and I get happy, you know?
Right. So what music do you play?
Oh my gosh. So I listen to everything but country. I'm not a country girl. I don't know. It just doesn't do it for me.
Yeah.
But anything, I mean, it's going to sound funny to say, but my favorite gym music is like trap and dubstep, like the harder stuff I listen to because it gets me in the zone. But then on the way here, I was listening to St. John, and I don't even know. I let the radio play on on Spotify. So
I'm a huge fan of St. John.
I love
St.
good.
John. So that's dope. That's dope. I like that.
Yeah. So it all depends.
Yeah. And so even with that, it was just music. Is there, you know, maybe specific other, you know, maybe YouTube videos that you watch, like you mentioned David Goggins, or is there any maybe books that you've read that you can just just, you know, refer to, you know, talk about that?
So many books
have helped you.
I mean, one of the oldest ones I think I've read too was, are you familiar with Mark Manson?
I am.
I don't know if I can curse on your little show.
Yeah, of course you
The
can.
Subtle Art of Not Giving a Fuck was a great book. It's like a bright orange book, and it literally just tells you, like, stop worrying so much about little things, only dedicate the amount of focus you have for specific things. And so, you know, that path started. That was a great book. I just finished the Can't Hurt Me one, so that was great. What else? There's been so many books. There's one by Brené Brown. I love reading her, Brené Brown. She's a like vulnerability and shame coach or author. She researches all of that. So she puts out books like Imperfections, and it's kind of just getting to the root of you. And so I don't think a lot of people take the time to kind of discover who they are. So how do you know what you can give to other people and show to other people?
Right.
So those are the kind of things that I like. And then podcasts by Impact Theory, Tom Bilyeu is awesome.
Oh, cool.
Lewis Howes, like all of them.
Yeah.
They're awesome.
You're absolutely, like, finding out who you are yourself is just extremely important, because even, you know, growing up, our parents or our teachers are like, read this, but it's like, I may be reading something that I have no interest in. It's like, find what your lane is, and then you consume that lane instead of just picking in. Obviously, we try to figure it out, but
well, your parents lead you in a direction where your parents don't have it all figured out either. Like, as we get older, you're like, okay, when does this adult thing click in? And you're like, oh, it doesn't. Like, we're just all winging it. So they're teaching you things from their past and their stuff that they don't know about. So yeah, you do have to kind of figure out, you know, your lane,
what's
like
right
you
for
said.
you. Yeah, you have to figure out what's right for you.
And it may not be 100% what they think, you know?
Right. You know, lifestyle changes as far as like your health and fitness goes is just as important in actually trying to, you know, eat right or trying to, you know, work out more. It's like you have to adjust like your life to make the lifestyle changes you want. And so for people who say there's not enough time, they don't have time to really transform or change their life when it comes to health and wellness and even mental, you know, mindset. What how do you propose people go about doing that? So
obviously I hear that all the time. That is like the number one excuse, is I don't have time. And actually that's what it is it's an excuse. And so if you, like, I know we're all super busy, we all have a lot going on, everyone has their own problems, but if you took a look at your schedule and you actually wrote down, this is actually an activity that I read and was trying to do, and you look at what you do during your day, like, okay, so I drive to work, and you schedule it out. Then you get to work and you do this, and you spend this much time on social media, and you whatever, you'll find little blocks where you're completely wasting time. And so if you actually schedule in a workout in your daily schedule, you're more inclined to do it than if you were just like, oh, well, maybe I'll go after work. So if you treat it as a schedule, you start scheduling out everything, it becomes much easier. And then honestly, sometimes you just have to get up earlier or go to bed a little later. Like, you have to make the sacrifice of that extra half hour of sleep to get up and maybe make your breakfast in the morning, or get up and pack your meals in the morning. All it takes is a little preparation, and then the time just happens. Like, it just shows up. Like, for instance, this is not even health related. I did not think I had enough time in my schedule for a dog, right? They're a big commitment. 12-hour shifts. I felt bad. I was like, when am I even gonna have time to walk him, to do all this? And then I got my dog, and you figure it out. Like, you wake up so you can walk him, you take him out at night, like everything just kind of fits, and then you don't remember what your life was like before you were doing this.
Right.
So it just kind of becomes a habit, and that's exactly what it is doing small things to make a habit.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Exactly. Great. That was amazing.
Thanks.
Amazing answer. What else? Let me see. I've got something.
What else do you want to know off the cuff?
Off the cuff. Off the cuff. Your dog. Let's talk about your dog.
Oh, little
dog?
Finley.
Little Finley?
Yes.
How's little Finley?
Finley is crazy. Finley is 2 years old. He is a social butterfly just like his mom. So any person or dog he wants to go say hi to. Finley is at daycare today because it is his favorite place in the entire world. He like broke my arm trying to get in the door.
Right.
No, but he's great. So they are a handful, and when you're traveling and when you're working, but it's so nice to have something happy to come home to all the time.
Sure.
I recommend everybody get a dog, seriously.
I mean, having a pet's like having a kid.
Oh,
I would imagine.
but careful comparing them to kids, because some moms will get it.
Right. Well, it's, you know,
it is, though. It's a responsibility.
Right.
It's a little life.
Yeah, it's a little life.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
So, Ashley, where can we find you online if we need to really learn about who you are and the services that you offer and everything?
So you can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. On Instagram, my personal account and where I do most of my videos and everything is at Dr. so Dr. Dwyer. And then my company has an Instagram at The Big Day Nutrition. It's also thebigdaynutrition.com. Facebook is Big Day Nutrition. So you can find me anywhere on there.
Great. Ashley, you killed it.
Thanks.
Thank you. So,
high five. First episode.
First episode. We knocked it out.
Crushed it.
Ashley Dwyer, everyone. Thank you for coming on the 6 W's.
Thank you for having me.
By Brain Fitted Media.
Woo.
I am DJ, signing out.